Hello, I'm Jason Stone, the Division Head of Arts and Sciences at OSU-OKC. Let's continue our conversation about your future. I'm delighted that you chose to invest in yourself and attend to the next video in our series about the habits of the mind. The habit that we're stressing in this video is gathering data using all of your senses. The Habits of the Mind authors, Costa and Kallick, stress the importance of this habit in developing situational awareness. If you're only using one of your senses and not really attending to the other channels, chances are good that you're not getting a full, rich, complete picture of your interactions with the others. Has anyone ever told you that it wasn't what you said, but rather how you said it? If they did, that person, more likely than not, was referring to your nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication includes a number of different things, such as paralanguage, which is basically that it's not what you said, it's how you said it. Or maybe someone says yes and then shakes their head no. A really good example of that happening in popular culture recently was Manti Te'o in an interview that he gave where he invented a girlfriend. He was constantly kind of affirming her existence, but there was a lot of nonverbal leakage where he was denying her existence at the same time. In other words, there was a very big disconnect between what he was saying and what he was doing with his nonverbal communication. Perhaps one of your friends was acting weird, and every time you walked into a room, they leave like they were hiding from you. Those are all good examples of nonverbal communication. And if that's a subject that interests you, there are a couple of classes that you could take here at OSU-OKC to learn more about it. You could enroll in Speech 2723, Interpersonal Communication. Nonverbal communication and attending to how things are said and what happens in a conversation is a great habit of the mind for you to cultivate. I would recommend a resource with regard to cultivating your nonverbal communication prowess. Joe Navarro, a 20-year veteran of the FBI, wrote an interesting book titled What Everybody is Saying. Navarro asserts that controlling nonverbal communication is tougher than a lot of people realize. Attending to your nonverbal communication and to the nonverbal communication of those around you is an excellent habit to cultivate, and it's essential to the habit of gathering data through all of your senses. We've briefly touched on listening and watching as important information gathering tools. Let's briefly touch on your sense of touch. Some people are incapable of remembering phone numbers without acting through the dialing process. Your brain has a remarkable ability to lay down new neural pathways and to rewire itself. Some students report that they have dominant kinesthetic learning styles. In other words, they have to do something in order to learn it. Gathering data through your sense of touch and through your ability to engage with things in a tactile way will help you understand and it'll help you understand a concept more completely. You may have driven to a place and not really remembered the drive in. That's an example of muscle memory. You may have showered this morning, but you don't really remember showering. That's another example of muscle memory. And that is when you lay down enough neurological pathways that your muscles essentially remember how to do a task. All of those are great examples of kinesthetic learning. Finally, I will address smelling and tasting together. Smelling and tasting are some of your more powerful senses. They are very, very closely related to memory. And there's been many neuroanatomy findings in the last several years that have really underscored the importance of smelling to long-term memory. And many research participants report being taken back scores of years just by smelling a fragrance, or like the young woman in the picture, maybe smelling some of your grandmother's homemade preserves. Your sense of smell, your sense of taste can really bridge the gap between many years, and oftentimes it's one of your more powerful senses when it comes to triggering long-term memories about past events. Please join me and attend to the other videos in this series. Invest in yourself and invest in your future. Attend to your thinking habits. They are going to determine how far you go. Thank you for your time and attention. Have a great day. Go Pokes.